Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Reganelite here. Hello, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. This is the Snowflake Corner, episode 26 on the 17th of May at 6 p.m. UK time, where we cover news from outside the UK. Hello to everyone who's here live, both here on YouTube and on twitch.tv. Actually, apologies. I actually haven't put up my Twitch chat, which is really embarrassing. I've been running around this morning, so apologies while I just get this up for you guys. There's a live YouTube chat poll for those who are here live, asking, does the European Union banning more Russian media help tackle misinformation? We're going to be talking about that today, guys, as well. We're also going to be covering an interesting story that happened in some kind of portal between Dublin and New York as well. That's going to be an interesting one we're going to look at as well. We're also, there we go, that's got up. We're also going to be looking, we got some stories from Israel regarding the Israel-Hamas war, a conflict as well that we're going to be looking at as well. And obviously I'll have one of the latest updates, obviously, with regards to the Slovakian Prime Minister who was assassinated. That could be the first one we will get to. Let's just see who we got here in the chat. Simon says 55 is here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Joe Lefty is here as well. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Alistair Keir is here, one of our moderators. Good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Sun's spitting in the sky in Scotland right now. Oh, that's lovely to see. You got some sunshine up there in Scotland. Lovely stuff. And that's pretty much everyone here saying hello to each other. Bleach build, lurch body. Simon says 55. Yeah. So just quickly, I've got most of the content done for the weekend. I've got a couple more bits to get done. The shorts are already available for members, but the main videos are not yet available. I will do that after this live stream for you guys, so for any members who want to see them beforehand. So I still have some more stuff to do on there, just in terms of reference. Is there any other stuff? I think that's everything covered I have for now for you guys, but on that front. But the gang is here. The gang is here. I've literally been running around rushing to get everything done at the last minute. I've had quite a busy day today, believe it or not. So, yeah, I have got everything ready. We got the funny memes. We got a funny video as well. But let's start with this one with regards to, obviously, the Slovakian PM. With the latest from Al Jazeera, you guys. So Slovakia's PM Fico undergoes new operation and amid hopes for his recovery. So Robert Fico remains in serious condition, officials say, after being shot in an attack that sent shockwaves across Europe. So obviously, it was a massive story. So one short story that should be coming out tomorrow, I believe, as well. We'll say that they have somebody in custody responsible for this now. They have stated, and I don't know if they'll state in this article as well, but it has been stated that it is not a terrorist. Apparently, this is just the actions of one person. Apparently, this is the actions of one person responsible for this. And obviously, it was done for political reasons. The man behind it is in custody, and he said he did it for political reasons. Which is what the story is behind it. So this isn't like some nation plotting to assassinate the prime minister or anything like that. At least that's the interpretation that we have here. That this is simply one person trying to take out the prime minister here. That's what the story is. Apparently, what is being told here, but. Most of the reports, obviously we'll read into this, but most reports that I've heard on this is that he is going to recover. So, which is good news. But obviously means that the deputy prime minister will have to step up to the plate for the time being. So at least it's good on that way, is that he hasn't lost his life there. So, but let's just read a bit more into this. So. Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico underwent another operation, so he's had two operations, that has increased hopes for his recovery, but remains in serious condition, the country's Deputy Prime Minister has said. Yeah, so most are saying that he's going to pull through, that he is going to pull through. The 59-year-old was shot on Wednesday while speaking to members of the public after a meeting in the central town of Hanover in an attack that sent shockwaves across Europe and around the world. The Deputy Prime Minister, Robert Calix, said on Friday that Fico had undergone another operation that lasted nearly 2 hours. It will take several more days for us to know definitely which way it is going, Calix told reporters outside the hospital in the city of Basariska, where the Prime Minister is being treated. I think the surgery today will allow us to move closer to positive prognosis. Callas also said any decision to transfer Figo back to the capital, Bratislava, would only be made when there have been further improvements on his condition. I'm in a better mood because I see there is progress, the Deputy Prime Minister said, but I'm still very serious. But it is still very serious for me. Hopeful. There. Joe, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Miriam Lacamica, director of the hospital, said Figo was conscious and stable in the intensive care unit after the operation, which removed dead tissue from the wounds. So Slovakia police have charged a man with attempted murder. Local news outlets have reported that he is a 71-year-old former security guard at a shopping mall and the author of three collections of poetry. However, there has been no official confirmation of his identity. Yeah, in the video the short video that will drop tomorrow doesn't confirm his identity either as well. Police also conducted an hours-long search of his suspect's home in the central town of Levy with him present, according to the TV Mascariska. This is a lone wolf whose actions were accelerated after the presidential election since he was dissatisfied with its outcome, the Interior Minister Matas Istuk told reporters. The shooting is the first major assassination attempt of a European political leader for more than 20 years and has drawn international condemnation. Political analysts and lawmakers said it has exposed the increasing fervor and a politicized political climate in both Slovakia and across Europe. Yeah, this will raise obviously alarm bells. Obviously, since it's happened, it has raised alarm bells about the concern and the well-being of politicians across Europe. That is for sure. Madman, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So, yeah, I mean, obviously there was the talk about, MPs obviously in the UK and how we have that, it's quite easy for us to come across to MPs as well. So it is a cause for concern there. The Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán, a political ally of Fico, told public radio on Friday that even if the Slovak year stages a full recovery, he will not be able to work for months. And this is at a critical time for the continent, which is holding European Parliament elections in early June. We are facing an election that will decide not just members of European Parliament, but along with the US elections, can determine our course of war and peace in Europe, Orbán said. And he's absolutely right. There's so much ramifications that are taking place this year, not just obviously the European Parliament. Potentially the UK election may happen this year or early January. The US elections. This is, I've said at the start of the year, this is going to be an election year. There's so many elections, so many changes in governments and power of whatnot, all across the globe. It's been happening. It really is. Next year could be quite a quiet year in comparison to elections. That's for sure. It's going to be a dynamic shift in a lot of nations, as we have seen. And we're not even halfway through the year yet, guys, as well. Officials have always drawn a link to the political situation in the country, with its political scene marred by disinformation and attacks on social media during recent election campaigns, which will also tie into the story we're going to cover from Euronews as well. Slovakia's President-elect Peter Pellegrini, who won an election in April, on Wednesday urged the political parties to suspend or reduce campaigning before the EU vote. The biggest opposition party, centrist Progressive Slovakia, and others announced that they have done so. Fico, a four-time Prime Minister and political veteran, returned to office in October. Since then, he has made a string of remarks that have soured ties between Slovakia and neighbouring Ukraine after he questioned the country's sovereignty. After he was elected, Slovakia stopped sending weapons to Ukraine, which was invaded by Russia in 2022. Yeah, obviously it's a shame, obviously, about Slovakia obviously no longer supplying weapons and arms to support Ukraine. That is disappointing, but regardless of how you feel about the Prime Minister and the direction that the country is going, at the end of the day, this is what the people voted for. Yes, I understand that he's not someone that some people have disagreements with and whatnot. And this is going to sound, and some people may not like what I'm about to say here, that I don't like Boris Johnson, I don't like Donald Trump, but I don't want somebody assassinating them. I don't wish death upon them in any way, shape, or form. Even if you know, they are crimes. Obviously, Trump is convicted of crimes and whatnot, but I will never wish death upon them whatsoever, because to me personally, I just feel like in doing so, you are sinking down to their levels. So you can disagree with their politics, you can disagree with what they're doing, and it is absolutely abhorrent and disgusting what some of these politicians and things that they do. But I will never wish death upon them. I will never wish death upon them. And yes, I'm fully aware of the consequences that some of these politicians have, and the damage to the lives that they have caused. But you know, there's a saying of never sink to their level, and I generally hope that the Prime Minister makes a recovery. Obviously, like Victor Orban has said, it's very unlikely that he's going to be in power for quite. He's going to be taking up his role for quite a while, probably about maybe half a year, maybe before he maybe be able to start doing it again. But obviously, it's highlighted Slovakia, and it's highlighted a lot of things that's happening in the country. And I remember covering the election there, and it was, you know, we're very concerned about the direction it was going, and now it's kind of just put a spotlight on the nation, and it'd be interesting to see how the Deputy PM handles things for the time being, obviously. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one as time goes on, guys. So this next one, guys, is a very odd one. So I don't know how many of you are aware of this portal that has been set up between Dublin and New York. This article from The Independent came down yesterday, and I have to say this is quite a bizarre thing. At first you think it's pretty cool, but then when you think about what people have been doing, yeah, it's not really going to work right now. So the headline is OnlyFans, drugs and 9/11 taunts, Dublin to New York portal taken offline over inappropriate behaviour. The initiative sculptures links the two cities together, but was soon hijacked by people intent on antisocial antics. So this is like it's like a massive video call that's that portal that's on that you can see through the screen from New York all the way to Dublin. That's basically essentially what it is. So you can actually, so the idea is obviously to create a connection between Dublin and New York, like live right there, that you can literally look through it, and you can see the city of Manhattan, New York, right through that screen, and they can see right through from New York to you, like they could do waves and all this kind of stuff. And this, it feels like one step closer to, you know, teleportation, where you can literally walk through the tunnel and tube, and it'll take you right there. But we're going a bit too far in the future, if I'm honest. But unfortunately, this as cool as an idea as this is, and it is a cool idea you know, if you're gonna leave it unguarded, which is what they did, you're gonna have people like this doing crap like this, which is doing OnlyFans, drug taunts and whatnot, and it's just like what are you doing? Like, so it was supposed to bring two cities together, but the Dublin New York portal has been closed down temporarily after reports of inappropriate behaviour. Sculptures have been placed in both cities featuring live streams that allow residents of one place to see the other. The initiative idea allowed grandmothers to see their grandchildren. Performances of Irish jigs were beamed across the Atlantic, and there was even a proposal. But in less wholesome behaviour, New Yorkers and Dubliners were seen flashing their rear ends and each other, and OnlyFans model barred her breast, and one Dubliner even taught the Americans with images of Twin Towers on 9/11. Hi, Junior Ball. Good to see you there. Yeah. Just, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at that there. That's that picture there of him, like, looking through the pool. It does look pretty cool. But it's just a shame that people are hijacking the concept. Another woman was escorted away by Irish police after she was seen grinding against the portal itself, as others made rude gestures at each other. In a statement, a spokesperson for Dublin City, I know, stupid, for Dublin City Council said the overwhelming majority of interactions are positive. That's good. The portal offers a window to other cities and connecting people, cultures in a unique manner. What we are seeing between Dublin and New York is a reflection of the wider narrative of cultural behaviour. Unfortunately, we've also witnessed a very small minority of people engaging in inappropriate behaviour, which has been amplified through social media. Yeah, in a bizarre turn of events, New York City pool open witness. Yeah, this just like, come on, like, Like if the thing is like if you're gonna leave it exposed like this, it's just yeah, we are all monkeys, Joe. We really are. Yeah. While we all cannot control all these actions, we are implementing some technical solutions to address this, and we'll go live in the next 24 hours. So it could be up again by... The very simple solution is literally have somebody there on guard. Both sides of the portal saying, like, just have someone there. And if they do something inappropriate, then literally, you know, just take them away. Like, how you know, or usher them away and whatnot. Like, you know, just common sense. Like... We will continue to monitor the situation over the coming days with our partners in New York to ensure that portals will continue to deliver a positive experience for both cities and the world. Yeah, it's very weird, doesn't it? It's like a Stargate SG-1, the series, like when they go through the portal. It's a bit weird. The Portals organization said, as Portal organization, we do not intend to suggest people to interact with portals in a particular way. Our goal is to open a window between faraway places and cultures that allow people to freely interact freely with one another. We encourage people to be respectful, and from our position and observers, we see the absolute majority of experience is on the bright side. Yeah, I really do like the idea. I love this concept. I really, really do, guys. It's just, yeah, it's just a shame that one or two people are just trying to ruin it. But I do like this idea. And I can see this kind of thing being, jolted around all around the world, like having connections like this around the world. Like, just imagine an interconnection of live streams of these portals in major cities around the world. And at a touch of a button, you could just see, like, somebody on the other side of the world or whatnot. It would be an interest. It'd be very fascinating, to say the least. Hello, number 3. Good to see you, buddy. But obviously, some people will see it a little bit more differently. Someone in the chat said they would flash too. I heard there are a couple of full moons through the portal, so someone says 55. Not more common sense, please. No, it's not. It's not an Escamave moment. Maybe it is. The thingy flasher ruined it for people, says Stephen Banker. Yeah. We are all monkeys, says Jow. Good evening, Stephen Banker. Late, but no, don't worry about being late. It's all good. No worries. The Internet Today channel did a segment. The Internet channel Today channel did a segment on it today. Interesting. It's interesting. No, I'm not going to say that, number 3. But it's an interesting story nonetheless. But I wanted to share that one with you guys because I thought it was an interesting one anyway. For me, it's about the concept of having these portals. I think it's a great concept idea, and I can see it. I can see it being implemented more down the road, guys. It would be fascinating, to say the least. So unfortunately, guys, I've got an annoying story for you guys. This one from Sudan. I know we don't like these, but this is it's a bit of a it's not too long of a one from there, but just an update of what's happening over there. So this one from CNN is that at least 56 people have been dead in Sudan's north Darfur state. Doctors Without Borders have said. So yeah, more people in the North Darfur state have lost their lives, and we obviously nothing has really changed at the moment with regards to it. What's happening with the conflict in Sudan? I know there was talk. There was supposed to be some kind of mitigations of talk coming at some point, but at the moment, both sides have no intention of kind of laying down their arms in any way, shape, or form. So I'm not sure when we're going to get any kind of peace, but yeah, at the moment nothing's really changing in Sudan, sadly. So at least 56 people died in Al Flashir, the capital of Sudan's North Darfur state, between last Friday and Wednesday as deadly fighting escalates. Doctors Without Borders (MSF) said in a statement. At the city's South Hospital, 454 casualties have arrived since last Friday, of whom 56 have succumbed to their injuries, according to the humanitarian organisation. MSF added that the wounded and death toll are likely far higher since the fighting continues to be so intense that many people cannot reach the hospital. North Darfur has been a relatively safe haven compared to other parts of Darfur, MSF added. Now there are snipers in the streets, heavy shelling in its place, and nowhere in the city is safe at all. Violence in North Darfur has intensified as the paramilitary group Rapid Support Forces, RSF, have been encircling Al Flashir. A report from the Yale School of Public Health's Humanitarian Research Lab on Wednesday confirmed significant conflict-related damage in the eastern and southeastern neighborhoods of El Fasher city between the 10th and the 14th of May. That is consistent with reports that the RSF and Sudanese armed forces, the SAF, have engaged in expanding and repeating ground fighting and bombardment in the city, the Yale report added. The UN Deputy Special Representative for Sudan, Clementine Nawala-Sami, said on Wednesday that hostilities have been escalating in El Fasher, putting an entire city in peril. Well, we know that the capital is obviously has had much of strain as well in the past. So we know the RSF have almost most control of the city as well. The United States sanctioned two RSF commanders on Wednesday for their role in leading the paramilitary group's operations in Darfur. The RSF military operation to encircle and besiege Al Fasher North Darfur has endangered the lives of hundreds of thousands of civilians, a US Department of State spokesperson had said. Civil war in Sudan between the SAF and the RSF broke out in April 2023, according to the UN Office for Coordination and Humanitarian Affairs. Since the World War outbreak, of more than 8.8 million people have fled their homes and 24.8 million people are in need of assistance. Yeah, so that's one of the latest that we have at the moment with regards to Sudan, and yeah, this is a hospital in Al Fasher. This picture was taken this was taken earlier this month. This picture, so there's very little comfort for people right now in Sudan, and because our all eyes are in other places right now, unfortunately. But just a small update anyway for what's happening in Sudan, and of course, as I will always try to keep up to date with it as much as I possibly can. There, guys. But the gang is here. Ollie does not like me talking about Sudan. I can't touch the orb anymore now because if I do, the mic will turn off. But Pingu, Pingu's not that fussed about it, to be fair. So the gang is here. This next one I've got for you guys is from the Eurozone, from Eurozone. Euronews, sorry. Where's the Eurozone? I'm losing my mind today. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I got the wrong screen on for you guys. So this one was obviously regarding the live YouTube chat poll for you guys. European Union bans 4 media outlets for peddling Russia propaganda. Now, they haven't banned out, so they didn't ban outright all Russian media, apparently initially, but they banned 4 more only just now is my thing that comes to my mind. Hi Casper, good to see you there, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So I'm just a bit perplexed that they didn't ban more earlier. But I guess the question that I put really is obviously, are the European Union doing enough to combat disinformation or Russian disinformation? Is it just banning these? Excuse me, I've got hiccups now, which is not good. Is just banning these going to fix the problem? Is it going to solve the issue? Apologies, I am going to need to drink some water now. I'm alright, guys, because otherwise just hiccups and reflux and whatnot. Is this enough? Like, I mean, to me, like, I still feel like you can't outright stop the misinformation out there because of the access to the internet that people have. Unless there's certain websites and whatnot you can clamp down on potentially, but I just think that banning these medias, my initial reaction when I saw this is just like, why are you only doing this now? Why did you not ban them out sooner? I think, and maybe it was just maybe they were just trying to give them a chance to, I don't know, speak right. I don't know, but they shouldn't have kept them out. But let's just read what the Euronews has to say on this. So the outlets include the Voice of Europe, which was foiled as a Russian influence operation by Czech Secret Service in March. The European Union has announced a ban on 4 media outlets accused of spreading pro-Kremlin propaganda and destabilizing Ukraine's neighboring countries. The 4 blacklisted outlets, Voices of Europe, RAA Noskovi, Igaviska and Roskoviska Geza, are under the permanent direct or indirect control of Russia and have been instrumental in fostering support for its illegal invasion of Ukraine, the European Council has said in a statement on Friday today. The Russian Federation... can you stop playing, please? The Russian Federation has engaged in a systematic international campaign of media and information manipulation to justify and support its full-scale aggression against Ukraine and to enhance its strategy of destabilization of its neighboring countries and of the EU and its member states, the statement have read. The decision was anticipated by the blog's Commissioners for Value and Transparency, Vera Jourova, on Wednesday when EU ambassadors green-lighted the move despite Russian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Marina Zaharova warning that Moscow would retaliate against Western correspondents in Moscow. Jourova also vowed to ban Russian funding from media outlets, NGOs and political parties in the EU. It comes just 3 weeks before some 370 million voters are summoned to the polls in European elections, a vote feared to be vulnerable to Russian-backed disinformation campaigns. The blog is on high alert for online Russian disinformation campaigns aimed at undermining the integrity of the vote, with officials concerned the EU is deeply unprepared for new forms of foreign interference. 3 of the target outlets, RSI, Novsky, Alaviska, and Roskovitsa Gaza, are all partly owned or controlled by the Russian state. But the Voice of Europe is a Dutch-list company, which is official headquarters in a small village in the northern province of North Barak. The outlet is at the heart of an ongoing sprawling investigation and allegations lawmakers across Europe were paid to peddle in Kremlin's propaganda. Okay. The news company claimed to provide uncensored news from Europe and the world, and as recently as this March held one-on-one interviews and debates with sitting MEPs broadcast from the European Parliament in Brussels and in Strasbourg. In late March, Czech authorities announced that he had busted a Russian interference operation conducted through the Voice of Europe, alleging financial transactions had been made to elected officials in the European Parliament and national parliaments. According to Czech media, citing officials from intelligence services, the allegations involve politicians from Germany, France, Poland, Belgium, the Netherlands, and Hungary. On Thursday, German police opened an investigation into EU election hopeful Peter Breitstein of the far-right Alternative for Germany AfD party on allegations of receiving up to 20,000 euros from individuals linked to Russian President Vladimir Putin to spread Kremlin propaganda. The Czech Prime Minister Peter Vaska said last month the undercovered operation aimed to destabilize the world of Europe and revealed other European countries had instigated investigations as a result of Czech efforts. Belgium has confirmed that it's opened a judicial investigation given that members of the European Parliament, whose headquarters is the capital of Brussels, are under suspicion. So, yeah, I think so. One of the reasons why I think they weren't so keen to ban them straight out, my understanding is because of Western journalists inside Moscow, inside Russia. There are some now. They have banned obviously any media with inside Russia that doesn't report the conflict obviously in the right way there will obviously get shut down by the Russian government. I think that's pretty clear. But we do know that there are still 1 or 2 journalists still working in Russia, although very independently and very quietly. We do know that certain Western medias are still reporting inside Russia. Not many, but certain are. But as Stephen Banker asks, why now? As he says there in the comment, which I absolutely agree. Why have they not done this sooner? I think is the question. I think if the EU are smart, any kind of media organization that has any kind of links to the state, to Russia or even the state government should have been shut down and basically kicked out the EU. It makes sense to have done so. We know we have an issue here in the UK where there's a lot of Russian ties into Londongrad, as we would like to call it as well. So we obviously we know the Evening Standard has ties to, allegedly have ties with its owner as well. So yeah, I just think yes, great, you're banning these medias. Okay, good. My point is, it's just like, why now? I think is the question. Like, if they've had links before, why not? Why have they not done this sooner? I think is the question that doesn't really add up to me. But it's an odd one anyway, but just asking there in the live YouTube chat poll, guys, does the European Union banning more Russian media help tackle misinformation? Because obviously, and it's a good question actually, because if you think about it, like some people will buy into it no matter what you say, the people are going to buy into it no matter what, so they're still going to go out of their way to watch it. And there are obviously ways of getting round to watching certain media outlets and videos and whatnot. I think it's like there's like things like VPN and whatnot that allows you to bypass the bans and whatnot. So there is that. So, but most of you, 10 people cast their vote saying 60% think of you say yes, 10% say no, 30% are not sure. But yeah, there is still, if people want to continue to listen to that kind of media, there are ways of getting around it online, and I think that I do think that is an issue. What's that? The Communist Party here have been under investigation for supporting Russia. They could be outright banned from existing as a party if promoting foreign-induced insurgents, Jal says. Interesting. So one Portugal political party could find itself kicked out because they're associating themselves too close to Russia, apparently. The EU have dragged their feet on this for too long, says Stephen Banker. It does seem like that, doesn't it? We don't need Russian propaganda. We have the BBC for that, says Mad Monk. But unrelated, but the independent vote was stolen from Scotland. Alex Salmond went on to have a Russian TV channel, and I distrusted him from the moment on and still do so. Yeah, the moment he went on that was not ideal for him at all. Not at all. Yeah, but that is not good at all. So Kerry Pryor Brew on Twitch saying hello there. Hello, hope you're doing well. Is that you, Alistair Keir, just switching from YouTube to Twitch just to say hello on there? Probably is anyway. Guys, just before we have a little funny video just to break things up on here, if you haven't already, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video, and subscribe because it really does help support the channel. Just doing one of those 3 things, guys, really makes a massive difference. Even if you can't financially support me, these are some of the non-financial ways you can do it. Just hitting that like button, leaving comments on my videos, sharing them across social media, doing any of those things, guys, helps boost the algorithm, gets the content out there. More people are eyes on the product, and just any of that stuff really does help make a massive difference, guys. So thank you to anyone who does that. I really greatly appreciate it. So so we're going to take a little break here. I've got a couple more stories for you guys here. Wow, I didn't realize we're only half an hour in. I think I might have to cover quite a bit on Ukraine, to be fair, but I've got we've got some other stories anyway, so I've got some stories to cover anyway, guys. So, British bat shoot conservative channel, says Mad Monk. Not shoot, the other word, guys, in case you're wondering. This one, this funny video I've got for you guys is an old one from Foil and Arms, guys. It's getting past a certain immigration, not just any immigration. One of the toughest immigrations that you'll ever try to get past. Dutch.
Before granting you entry, you must first answer some simple questions. First one is easy. If you're Dutch, you're from which country?
Deutschland.
No.
What?
No, Deutschland.
Deutschland.
Holland.
No,
Holland,
the
yeah.
Netherlands.
Netherlands.
Oh,
Come on.
Netherlands.
Questions are going to get more difficult.
okay.
Second question. Which CD industry is the Netherlands well known for?
Oh, yeah, the flower industry.
Yeah. What controversial herb is consumed openly here in the Netherlands, much to the disgust of outsiders?
Licorice.
Yeah. Which type of bicycles are most commonly seen in the Netherlands?
Stolen ones.
Yeah. What is the Netherlands' largest import?
Tax avoiders.
What is the Netherlands' largest export?
Oh, yeah, postcards with windmills.
Yeah. In history, what do you call the area of the Netherlands that was controversially claimed from the sea?
Indonesia.
Yeah. Who did the Dutch football team knock out of the last 16, the World Cup in 1994?
Ireland.
Why is that question there?
No, I just thought I'd throw it in. Where do you purchase marijuana in the Netherlands?
Coffee shops.
Where do you buy coffee in the Netherlands?
Anywhere else?
Yeah. By 2050, the Dutch Minister of the Environment expects the whole country to be 100% what?
Underwater.
Yeah. What is the largest fan base in the Netherlands?
Soccer.
No, windmills. What is the fastest way to get to The Hague from Maastricht?
It committed a war crime.
Yeah. What would Dutch citizens like to finally see delegalized?
Andrew Rio concerts.
Yeah, we've had enough. Finally, what do people from all over the world travel to Amsterdam to see? Come on, we both know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's so obvious.
Sure.
The bridges!
Bridges.
Yeah, the bridges!
Bridges. Yeah.
Translucentbrug, Nagirenbrug, Blaubrug, Leckeresbrug.
Bridges. Reganelite is my
You
favourite.
guys are going to have a great time!
Yeah. We're gonna go check out those bridges.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do that now.
What does almost every person in the Netherlands have?
Tulips.
Yes. Why does the Amsterdam sewage system constantly back up?
Because it's full of clogs.
Yes! Tickets for a European...
Dutch immigration, guys. Dutch immigration. That's a tough one. Need to speak to some. I need some help making sure I can get past Dutch immigration. So there's all the tips and tricks that you guys need to getting past Dutch immigration. If you guys wanted to know how to get past it, now you know. So hopefully that will give you all the help that you need. But on a serious point, guys, make sure if you haven't already, please subscribe to Foreign Arms YouTube channel. The link for the video is in down below. Make sure you like it, share their videos and all that kind of stuff, guys. It really does help support them. Doing great stuff they are. They really, really are. So, guys, we're going... make sure I've got the right... video for you guys. So the next one is obviously we're going to be talking about Israel and Gaza situation. So this one is from the Association Press here. The headline is "The aid for Gaza will soon flow from the pier, project just finishing by the US military," the Pentagon has said. So the construction, so this was an article from yesterday. So the pier is pretty much finishing up by the US military. That's on the Gaza sea line, and I'm just like, to me, it's just like, I do have to say, what is the point of this? Because I feel like this is completely unnecessary, and I really say this because we all know that if Israel just allowed aid to go in properly, if they allowed aid to come in properly, this would not be needed. To me, a part of this feels like a complete bloody waste of taxpayer money. I know it's US taxpayers, it's not British taxpayers, but it still feels like a waste of money because it shouldn't have to go this way. Should not have to go this far. So, but for some reason we have to do this because Israel won't let aid come in through their borders. So we're setting up a pier for Gaza so we can get aid in, even though we don't have the cojones to challenge the Israeli government in saying, hey, we need to let this aid in, because that's exactly what it is. The US, UK, and the EU are too scared to stand up to Israel and say, hey, you need to let this aid in, or we're going to cut off supplies and whatnots and everything. But no, we're going to make things more difficult for ourselves, and that's just how it feels like to me, this whole thing. So the Pentagon said on Thursday that humanitarian aid will soon begin flowing into Gaza shore through the new pier that was anchored to the beach and will begin reaching those in need almost immediately. Sabina Singh, a Pentagon spokeswoman, told reporters that the US believe there will be no backups in the distribution of the aid, which is being coordinated by the United Nations. The UN, however, said fuel imports have all but stopped, and this will make it extremely difficult to deliver the aid to Gaza people. All 2.3 million of whom are in acute need of food and other supplies after 7 months of intense fighting between Israel and Hamas. And what's to stop IDF soldiers standing on the edge of the pier and basically saying, "No, we're not letting that aid in." Like, just literally, like what are you gonna do? Nothing's gonna. Just like, because then they want the aid. They don't want the aid going in. We desperately need fuel, UN Deputy Spokesperson Fari Hug said. Doesn't matter how the aid comes, whether it's by sea or whether it's by land. Without fuel, aid won't get to these people. Singh said the issue of fuel deliveries come up in all conversations with the Israelis. So the US military is building a floating pier that will allow more humanitarian aid to flow into Gaza's 2 million residents who are desperately in need of food as Israel bombardments the Palestinian territory following Hamas October 7th attack that launched the war. Here's how it would flow to Gaza by sea. So it comes from Cyprus, The cargo undergoes a security screening in Cyprus before being loaded onto a freighter. The freighter sails about 200 miles to the US-built floating offshore platform made of connecting barges anchored to the seafloor, where pallet cargoes are transferred to waiting army trucks and driven onto smaller army boats. And then the boat sails about 3 miles to a floating pier and causeway that has been pushed ashore and anchored to the beach by Israeli forces. The aid trucks drive off the ships and down the 2 lanes, 1,800-foot causeway, and onto the beach, where they are unloaded in an area secured by Israeli forces. Defense officials said no US military forces will set foot on the ground. And empty trucks will fetch more cargo. This is controlled by the IDF. Like, okay, like we're going to be trying to get more aid in. Yeah, I welcome the fact that we look like we're getting more aid in. So you're going to put them onto this barge, and then you're going to put them on a smaller ship here to drop them off here, and then people who are working for Israel and whatnot are going to put them through here. So I imagine there's going to be some kind of checkpoint, literally built a sea checkpoint, where they're just going to hold things up or whatever. That's just it's just this is not going to work. This is not going to work. I'm sorry. Like for me, as long as Israel dictate this aid is going to be slowed down in every single way. Now, I get the fact that, no, we don't want new UK or US soldiers on the ground or whatnot. I get that. But the moment where it said Israeli forces control this, I'm just like, straight away, I'm just like, this ain't going to work. This ain't going to work because they're going to make it difficult. They're going to make it as difficult as they bloody can. Just fuck's sake. Alistair Keir, thank you so much for the £10 super chat. Did you see Israelis destroying aid trucks in air? In Israel, security let them to do disgusting as they sneak the aid in the other border. They didn't tell Israel it was coming. Yes, I believe, yes, we covered that on the Snowflake Watch on Wednesday night. We showed on Wednesday night, I was showing, for those who were there on Wednesday's live stream, we showed that the footage of them basically cutting up the aid and whatnot, the Israeli settlers within Israel. We showed them of it all being basically trashed and left on the floor, all the food and whatnot. And we also showed the footage of what appeared to have been, as you said in your super chat, of them sneaking into Gaza without Israeli officials kind of being on the from Egypt's border into Gaza, without kind of Egypt being fully aware of it, Israel being fully aware of it. Sorry. So yeah, we covered that on Wednesday night. Alistair, but thank you so much for the £10 super chat. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, it makes you question the tactics. Yeah, I just like the moment it says there a floating platform, just like deep drill rig without drills yet, says Genie Bottle. Yeah, it's probably Genie Bottle just hit the nail on the head there. It's probably going to be the basis of when they're going to start and not build an oil platform, because remember, there is oil in that water out there. There's oil in the waters out there. So, yeah, remember that. Remember, there is oil in those seas that Gaza has as well. So the US military finished installing a floating pier off the Gaza Strip early Thursday, and officials were making final checks before trucks began driving onto the shore to deliver pallets of aid. The pier project, expected to cost $320 million, was ordered more than 2 months ago by US President Joe Biden to help starving Palestinians as Israeli restrictions on border crossings and heavy fighting hinder food and other supplies from making it into Gaza. Fraught with logistical, weather and security challenges, the pier project is not considered a substitute for far cheaper deliveries by land, and that aid agencies say are much more sustainable. The boatloads of aid will be deposited at a port facility built by the Israelis just southwest of Gaza City and then distributed by aid groups. US officials said Thursday as much as 500 tons of food will begin arriving on the Gaza shore within days, and that the US has closely coordinated with Israel on how to protect the ships and personnel working on the beach. But there are still questions on how Aid groups will safely operate in Gaza to distribute food to those who need it most, said Solin Kong, assistant to the administrator of the UN Agency for International Development Bureau of Humanitarian Assistance, which is helping with logistics. There is a very insecure operating environment, and aid groups are still struggling to get clearance for their planned movements in Gaza, Cole said. Those talk with the Israeli military need to get to a place where humanitarian aid workers feel safe and secure and be able to operate safely, and I don't think we're there yet. Fighting between Israeli troops and Palestinian militias on the outskirts of the southern city of Rafah, as well as Israel restoring combat operations in part of northern Gaza, has displaced from 700,000 people. UN officials say Israel recently seized the key Rafah border crossing in its push against Hamas. Pentagon officials said the fighting isn't threatening the new shoreline aid distribution area, but they have made it clear that security conditions will be monitored closely and could prompt a shutdown of the maritime route, even just temporarily. Just before I come to the rest of it, Al-Sakir, thank you so much for 10 gifted. That's a lot of money. Thank you very much for those. That's very kind of you, my friend. I appreciate it. That is very kind. You've been very generous today. You really are. Simon says 55 has been gifted. 100 Pagan has been gifted one. Nature's Amira has been given one. Doc Davis has been given one. Vertigo has been given one. Wim has been given one. Vixen UK. Matt Parker, Just a Person, and Barry C have all been gifted memberships by Alistair Keir. Thank you so much for once again for the 10 gifted plus super chat. And he's just Alistair, you did not need to do that. It's very sorry guys, he's just given another 5 gifted memberships, another 5, which again very kind of him. Number 3, Martin Big Sing, apologies for mispronouncing any names. Matilda Pasquio, Bob D Bob, and Roski Bullet Movement have all been gifted memberships there. So thank you so much, Alistair. That's very kind of you, my friend. I really, really appreciate it. That is yeah, thank you. It's really, really nice of you, my friend. Yeah, I'll do some more thanking later. Let me carry on with this. But thank you for the gifted memberships. That's really appreciate it. Already the site has been targeted for mortar fire during its construction, and Hamas has threatened to target any foreign forces who occupy the Gaza Strip. The protection of US forces participating is a top priority, and as such, the last several weeks, the United States and Israel developed an integrated security plan to protect all the personnel, said the Navy Vice Admiral Brad Cooper, a deputy commander at the US Military Central Command. We are confident in our ability at this security arrangement to protect those involved. Central Command stressed that none of its forces entered the Gaza Strip to secure the pier, would not during this operation. It said trucks with aid would move ashore in the coming days, and the United Nations will receive the aid and coordinate its distribution to Gaza. The World Food Programme will be the UN agency handling the aid, officials have said. Israeli forces will be in charge of security onshore, but there will also be 2 US Navy warships nearby. What are they going to be for? What are they exactly going to do? The USS Anglin Burke and the USS Port Ernest both are destroyers equipped with wide range of weapons capability to protect American troops offshore and allies on the beach. It's not like Hamas. Are Hamas going to attack America? I don't think they are. Israeli military spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Navi Shobgi confirmed that the pier had been attached and that Israeli engineering units have flattened ground and the area and surface road for trucks. We've been working for months on full cooperation with the US military on this project, facilitating it, supporting it in any way possible, Shang has said. It's a top priority in our operation. Top priority for the Israeli military, guys. Top priority. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The UN, US, and international aid group says Israel is only allowing a fraction of the normal pre-war deliveries of food and other supplies into Gaza since Hamas attack on Israel's launched the war in October. Aid agencies said they're running out of food in southern Gaza and the fuel is dwindling, while USAID and the World Food Programme says famine has taken hold in Gaza North. Israel said it places no limit on entry to humanitarian aid and blames the UN for delays in distributing goods for entering Gaza. BS! That is complete BS. Nonsense. You are the guys who control the borders. Absolute nonsense. blaming the UN. Absolutely pathetic. This is you guys. You guys are in charge of the borders. Blaming the UN. I can't unsee it. Starmer looks like Geese from Buffy, says one angry pagan, being a member for 3 months. Okay. Not sure where you're going there, pagan, but all right. But thanks for being a member for 3 months. Greatly appreciate it. For some reason, he has this weird idea. He just keeps putting badger emojis in every live stream that he goes on now, one angry pagan. I don't know what's wrong with him. The UN says the fighting, Israeli fire, and chaotic security conditions have hindered delivery. Under pressure from the US, Israel has in recent weeks opened a pair of crossings to deliver aid into a hard-hit northern Gaza and said a series of Hamas attacks on the main crossing, the Kalam Shol, have distributed the flow of goods. I'm sorry, but this to try and paint this in any way, shape, or form that it's the UN's fault is absolute nonsense. It really is. The first ship loaded with food left Cyprus last week, and the cargo was transferred to US military ship, the Roy B. Bazavis, off the coast of Gaza. Military leaders said the delivery of aid will begin slowly to ensure the system works. They will start around 90 truckloads of aid a day through the sea route, and the numbers will grow quickly to around 150 a day. Agency said it isn't enough. It must be just part of a broader Israeli effort to open land corridors. You know what? Yeah, they could have avoided all this waste of money and piers and whatnot. You know what you could have done? Yeah, you know, you could have just said to the Israeli military, can you guys protect the aid trucks that go in from your country's end? You know, stop the settlers from, you know, vandalizing it and whatnot. You know, could you guys, just make sure that the trucks get to the checkpoints, and then you guys make sure it gets through, so that the aid can get into the people of Palestine. You know, you guys could just do that you could just do that. You know, the US would throw a bit of money at you guys and say, can you guys just make sure this aid gets there? You know, we could have just done that instead of all this. You know, I'm just putting it out there. You know, they sat back and allowed Israeli settlers to basically raid all these food convoys, which people have literally around the world have put their hands in their pockets, donating to charities and aids and whatnot to help for the people in Gaza. And all that aid, all that money that people have donated and whatnot, it has literally been thrown in the bin because of the Israeli settlers. So much money has been wasted. And they're doing this project because of, not just because of what the Israeli settlers are doing, but because of the stubbornness of the Israeli army when it comes to letting them through the checkpoints. This is I do not in any way, shape or form accept this premise that this is the UN's fault. Israel are in charge here. Israel are in control of this situation. They decide everything. They do. So to try in any way, shape or form of painting this is just BS. It is. Because a land crossings could bring all the need of aid if Israel officials allow it, the US built pier and sea route a solution for the problem that doesn't exist, says Scott Paul, an associate director of the Oxfam humanitarian organisation. Under the new sea route, humanitarian aid is dropped off in Cyprus, where it will undergo inspection and security checks at Lungala port. It is then loaded onto ships and taken about 200 miles to large floating pier built by the US military off the Gaza coast. There, the pallets are transferred onto trucks, are driven onto smaller army boats, and then shuffled several kilometres to the causeway anchored onto the beach. The trucks, which are then driven by personnel from another country, will go down the causeway into a secure area of land where they will drop off at the aid and immediately turn around and return to the boats. Aid groups will collect the supplies for distribution. Not regarding the Flecklin Autio was as well, says Stephen Banker. Yeah, and that was the other story I wanted to cover. Just reminded me of something. I don't know if I have time to cover it though. But just on this, guys, I've said it already. Like, is this really gonna make it? Like, it may like it feels like if this works, and let's just say we're going to hypothetical. If the aid does increase and aid does get in, yes, great. You know, finally, you know, the people are getting something. But it's now 17th of May, and this started from the from that horrific attack by Hamas, and we're now at a point after what are we looking at? 7 months, half a year or more since that attack, since the Palestinians have suffered. What, we're coming up at 35,000 deaths, more than 10,000 women and children. I mean, like, why now? Why so late? Like, is this going to make a difference? In all seriousness, if this makes a difference, if it stops people dying of hunger, of famine and whatnot, that's great. In all seriousness, I'm happy. I'm happy that it's stopped that. But the damage has kind of already, so much damage has already been done. So many people's lives have been destroyed already. So many have already been destroyed at this point. And if it was up to Israel, they would just block everything off and just leave them to starve. They really, really would. That's just kind of how I feel on it, guys. Yeah, I know, Ollie. I hate it too. I hate talking about this stuff, guys. I really do. But people need to know what's going on. People need to know what's happening. And because if we don't keep talking about it, it's just going to keep rumbling on and on and on, guys. It's just going to... We have to talk about it. It's frustrating. And I appreciate you guys, listening to me rant on this, because it really is frustrating. I do have a bit more with regards to Israel and Gaza I'll come to in just a moment. The next one will be from Africa news. But just before I do, guys, I just want to say, if you want to in any way financially support me in the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member. Being a YouTube member makes a massive difference in it. It helps contribute to the channel, helps me to be able to do the work that I do here. You can do so for just as little as 99p. Just being a 99p member gives you access to custom emojis, which people in the live stream will do right now. Also gives you access to members' community posts. And $2.99 members, if you choose to be upgrade for a $2.99 membership, also gets you early access to content as well. So whenever I produce content and upload it onto YouTube, they get early access before it comes out, made available to the public. And as a YouTube member, regardless of what level if you comment on any of my videos, I always give you a response. Sometimes it'll take a few days for me to respond to your comment, but I always go out my way to try and respond to every single YouTube member who comments on any of my videos. So anyone who is a YouTube member, thank you very much for doing so. Other ways you can financially support me is with a super chat, if you want to do them in there as well. Other ways you could do it outside of YouTube is you can buy me a coffee. A link for that is in the description. And one other way, if you want to financially support me, you can do so by becoming a Patreon supporter. I have 2 fantastic Patreon supporters, which I'm incredibly grateful for, who are still continuously supporting me on there, and I cannot thank them enough. And they get access to exclusive content on there all to themselves, because nobody else wants to join them on there. And there's also exclusive content that you don't have to pay for, that if you join me on Rumble or on the Facebook page as well, there'll be more exclusive content coming down them, and as well on Patreon as we continue to go. So thank you to everyone who's done all those, who've done it and who's financially supported me in any way, or who has supported me on any of the other social medias. Is greatly appreciated. Just so you guys know, we're coming up to nearly 350 followers on TikTok as well. So so there is definitely an audience I'm building on TikTok as well, which is pretty cool as well. So all the plugging done. Let's move on, guys. So this we are still going to be talking about Israel and Gaza, but it's more about the ICJ's case here. So this one is from Africa News. So South Africa rebukes Israeli argument at the ICJ's hearing on the Gaza genocide case here. So Israel has defended its military operation in Gaza, as the International Criminal Court of Justice on Friday today held a third round of hearings on emergency measures requested by South Africa, which wants the court order a ceasefire. Israel told the UN's top court in The Hague that South Africa cases make a mockery of Hendrik's charge of genocide. But South Africa representative says what we heard today was not really an engagement of the facts. Some engagement on the facts, but not really rebutting what South Africa is trying to assert. Is essentially trying to distract and blame, or cast political aspirations on the intentions of South Africa, said Zane Dango. the Director General of South Africa's Department of International Relations and Corporations. Alistair Keir, thank you so much for joining Patreon. Much appreciated. I just saw the message come up. Thank you. South Africa has told the court on Thursday that the situation in the Belgrave enclave has reached a new and horrific stage and urged judges to order a half to Israel military operations. The lawyer Tamar Klaman Tongman defended Israel's conduct in Gaza, saying it had allowed in fuel and medication. Israel's delegation was noticeably smaller than during previous hearings. According to Israel's Deputy Attorney General Gilad Norm, a number of their lawyers were not available on such short notice. The country was informed on Monday that hearings would be held on Thursday and Friday. South Africa submitted 4 requests to the ICJ to investigate Israel. Jeannie Bottle says, I watched and listened to Israel's response to South Africa at the ICJ. It was disgusting. It does not surprise me. The court has already found that there is a real and immediate risk to Palestinian people in Gaza by Israelis' military operations. According to the latest request, the country says Israel's military incursion in Rafah threatens the very survival of Palestinians in Gaza. In January, judges ordered Israel to do all it can to prevent death, destruction, and any acts of genocide in Gaza, but the panel stopped short of ordering an end to the military offensive. ICJ judges have broad powers to order a ceasefire and other measures, though the court doesn't have its own enforcement applicants. Yeah, it's like it can order Israel, but it's not going to listen to them. They just ignore them. That's fine, Alistair Keir. TikTok's doing pretty well on its end, but I appreciate it. A 2022 order by the court demanding that Russia halt its full-scale invasion of Ukraine has so far gone unheeded. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just like the ICJ are telling Russia, stop invading Ukraine, and they're just carrying on. So, yeah, it doesn't really have as much power as they think they do, to be fair. Most of Gaza's population, 2.3 million people, have been displaced since the fighting began. The war began with a Hamas attack on southern Israel on October 7th, in which Palestinian militias killed around 1,200 people and took about 250 hostages, and more than 35 Palestinians have been killed in the war, the Gaza Health Ministry has said. So, yeah, obviously, this will go on, but it's not going to make a difference, if I'm honest, guys. I want it to make a difference. I want kind of the rest of the world to kind of stand up and take notice, but I just feel like they're not really going to stand up and take notice. You know, same with are the US and the UK going to take any notice to the ICJ's hearings? No, probably not. I don't think they are, if I'm honest, guys. I generally want them to, but I just don't think they will, if I'm honest. And that's the sad reality of it, which is really, really annoying. So, guys, we've got, I've got really, well, it's not really a piece, but we're going to be looking, one last lot, we're going to be looking at some of the latest updates, what's happening in Ukraine. But I actually am going to play a little clip, before, I'm not going to do the deep state map, but we're just going to cover some of the stories happening in the, from the Kiev Independent. As you guys know, is one of the sources that really gets a lot of stuff straight from the front lines of what's happening on the ground in the country. So let's have a look at see what they've got for us today, guys. So it's this one here. They've got the UK announces new sanctions targeting Russia arms for oil trade with North Korea. So the UK announced new sanctions today targeting Russia's arms for oil trade with North Korea. The new sanctions came after the Financial Times wrote in March that Moscow was defying UN sanctions by supplying North Korea with oil, likely in exchange for weapons. Pyongyang is subject to a strict cap on oil transfers imposed by the UN Security Council in 2017 after a series of nuclear weapons tests. The US National Security Council spokesperson John Kirby said that in May that Moscow supplied over 165,000 barrels of refined plutonium to North Korea in March alone. The new sanctions will target 3 companies and 1 individual from North Korea and Russia and follow similar measures implemented by the US on the day before. We cannot and will not stay silent as North Korea and Russia engage in arms transfers, said the Foreign Secretary David Cameron. The UK will continue to hold North Korea and Russia to account. We will work with our partners to protect the global regime with international peace and security. Pyongyang has been shaping up Russia's leading weapons supplier, reportedly providing Moscow with extensive military packages, including ballistic missiles and over 3 million artillery shells. There have also been concerns about what Russia may be providing North Korea in return for the shipments of military hardware and ammunition. U.S. Security Secretary of State Antony Blinken has warned that Russia has been assisting North Korea in upgrading its military capabilities, potentially including ballistic missiles and nuclear technology. That does not surprise me. I'm just going to click the refresh button to see if anything news here. This has just literally come down. Ukrainian drones hit a military facility in Russia, Crimea, amid Russian claims of over 100 drones have been downed, apparently. This photo was taken last year of the Russian Black Sea Fleet warships there. So, what's this one? So, Ukrainian drones hit military facilities in Russia, Crimea, and amid Russian claims of over 100 downed drones. Ukrainian drones attacked several military facilities in Russia and occupied Crimea overnight on May 17th. A source from the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, confirmed to the Kiev Independent. Source said that it was a joint operation carried out by SBU and Ukraine's military intelligence agency. Today, operation proved that the Russians are unable to protect their main naval bases in Sevastopol and Novorossiysk, the source said. Phil McCracken, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. The Russian defense military claimed earlier that during the day that 102 aerial and 6 naval drones had been intercepted and destroyed and did not report any damage or casualties. The drones were targeted at naval bases of the Black Sea Fleet located in occupied Sevastopol and the Russian city of Novorossiysk in Kosovo, the source said. The attack also impacted a power plant near Sevastopol, leading to power outages. The port in Novorossiysk is where Moscow began redeploying its Black Sea Fleet after a series of devastating Ukrainian strikes, including a missile attack on its headquarters in Sevastopol on September the 22nd, 2023. Source also confirmed that the drone attacked the oil refinery in the Russian town of Tursky, located in the Russian Black Sea coast. The Russian Defense Ministry claimed 102 aerial and 6 naval drones had been intercepted and destroyed and did not report any damage or casualties. If confirmed, it would be the largest drone attack by Ukraine throughout its entire full-scale war. A previous attack in March saw the Kremlin claim to have downed 65 drones. You know, while I like the fact that they're using these drones, but they shouldn't. Maybe they should save some of them till when they do the counter-offensive. They are planning the counter-offensive next year, I suppose. But I'm you know, that's a lot of drones to shoot down at once, to be fair. A military intelligence source earlier for the Kiev Independent that the agency carried out a successful drone attack against an oil base in Russia's Roskovsk Oblast on the 15th of May. The next day, drones hit production facilities at the state-owned Russian weapons manufacturing company Balsos in the city of Tula. A military intelligence source told the Kiev Independent. Zelensky says Russia's Kharkov Oblast offensive advances so far as 10 kilometers, halted by first defensive lines here. So Russian troops were able to advance as far as 10 kilometers, 6 miles deep during their offensive in Kharkov Oblast, but the front of the region has been stabilized, the President Vladimir Zelensky told journalists yesterday. Moscow launched a new offensive with 30,000 troops on the 10th of May. We've stated that before on the World News Round. Russian troops have focused their efforts on the direction of Luskis and Volodymyr, 2 settlements with a few kilometers south of the border. Moscow forces were halted by Ukraine's first line defense. Zelensky said they did not reach concrete fortification, he added. Bop de bop, good to see you there. Thanks for popping by, much appreciated. It was Alistair Keir who was kind enough to give away gifted memberships earlier, and you just happened to got one. So hope you're doing well. The first and second lines are being built by the military, and the third line built by local authorities. It is most powerful, simple, because it is furthered from Russian weapons from shelling, Zelensky said. The deepest point of their advances is 10 kilometers. In some areas, there was no advance. Russia seized the town of Voskis in Kharkov Oblast as the target, according to the president. Ukrainian soldiers are mopping up the streets in northern outskirts of the town, preventing Russian troops from gaining a foothold, the general staff had reported today as well. In addition to wanting a zone of 10 kilometers a day, Russia wants to keep building on the success day if they achieve it. But the main thing today is that our defensive forces are stabilizing the situation, Zelensky has said. Ukraine has reinforced several sectors with battalions that could be taken somewhere from the reserves, and from other sectors, the president had journalists. Russian troops managed to cross the border, particularly because of Ukraine's lack of air defense systems, Zelensky said. The president said earlier that Ukraine could prevent Russia from from occupying the city of Karlov with 2 additional Patriot anti-air systems. Interesting so far. What's this? I think, yeah, we've covered that story before. I'm pretty sure. I think that's actually a short one I've covered before. EU suspends, we've covered that one already. Belarus. What's this? Hungary vetoes something again. Hungary vetoes Council of Europe resolution supporting Ukraine's peace formula. Why? Hungary vetoed a resolution to the Council of Europe to officially recognise and support President Volodymyr Zelensky's 10-point peace formula, the country's foreign ministry said today. In a post on Facebook, Peter Zalewski said that other plans had been proposed by others but were not being considered by the Council. An exclusion of Russia from the body meant peace negotiations could not work. The ministry did not specify in which other plans he was referring to. Well, what exactly are bringing Russia into the discussion? I mean, I know that Ukraine's 10-point peace formula, the plan first outlined by President Volodymyr Zelensky in the fall of 2022, is composed by several key pillars, one of which is the complete withdrawal of Russian troops from the occupied Ukrainian territory. Russia withdrew from the Council of Europe in March 2022 after the full-scale invasion of Ukraine and was subsequently officially excluded a day later. Instead of fantasizing about nuclear war, we finally need real peace negotiations, Sarto wrote. It added, the real peace negotiations can only take place if all the warring parties are sitting around the table. Today, the Council wanted to adopt a resolution in which it wanted to recognise only and exclusively President Zelensky's peace plan as a peace formula to be considered and supported. Sarkalo said he asked for other plans to be considered, but this was rejected by a majority of EC members. That's why I vetoed it. There was no Council resolution, he said. As most notable alternative peace plans were proposed by Chinese Foreign Ministry, we've published a 12-point statement on February 2023 outlining Beijing's position on the political settlement of Russia's full-scale war. Many Western leaders dismissed the proposals, knowing that it would likely only work in Russians' favour. Yeah, I mean, it's just if you're going to have any kind of negotiations or any kind of peace, like you can't, like, I know this sounds silly, guys, but you need to have them around the table. You're going to need to have them around the table. I can understand how people feel about it. They need to be round the table of some sorts on it. I'm just, but as far as hopefully that the aid is obviously it's taking a little bit of time for the military aid, that the package that's obviously been gone through to get through. And I imagine that things are now starting to cool down a little bit, and hopefully, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get the video ready because I wanted to share this video with you guys. Hopefully, the sooner things get better, hopefully it'll get through sooner, and hopefully there'll just be the pushing will stop. Obviously, right now, obviously Donetsk we've covered before. Obviously, where they've been pushing small gains in the Donetsk region. Obviously, that's where they've been pushing ever since they've taken the city of Avika. They've really taken ground from there. And obviously their plans obviously is to try and capture the whole region by the end of the year. Donetsk, whether they will or not is obviously another question. But we'll just keeping up to date as much as I can with you guys about the conflict in Ukraine. We'll obviously cover it again, and I'll probably cover the deep state map on the World's News Round for you guys as well. So I'm just gonna have a quick look at you guys in the chat before I share this video with you. I didn't put it in the editing because you guys may have noticed I shared it on the community post. I shared it on Discord because I think this video is quite bonkers with what happened in I think it was last night in America's Congress. I'll come to that in just a moment to see what you guys are saying in the chat. Stephen Banker says, the first channel I ever subscribed to was Indie Truck Davey, and I have done for a number of years. I know Mr. McGuinness is a humble, passionate, honest, and independence legend. It's the times that I've had discussions with him, I've had a few discussions with Dave McGuinness on Discord. It just seems like a really simple guy. It's really top guy. I generally would like to meet him in person. There's a lot of people I want to meet in person. I generally would like to meet him. Yep, I've heard he's not watching it for years. I broke too many TVs watching it. I'm assuming you're talking about the BBC. Just popped in to say hi. Can't stay long. Got dinner in the oven, says Duke. No worries, Duke. Thanks for popping by. It's all much appreciated. People also discuss with Hitler, who took us far right, says Jow, question mark. I swear to the Dukeum's various gods, if you don't behave Hungary, yeah, they're not going to be that. Phil Kraken says to me, if you are reviewing last night's Question Time, I'm switching off. More plants in the show than Doobie's Garden Centre. I was watching it with no justice. I was watching it last night with no justice, and I had to get off after. I had to switch off because not just because it was late, but because it was driving me mad, and I know it was driving Helen mad as well. It was infuriating. It was so infuriating, and I don't blame you if you switched off from Question Time, Phil. I really don't blame you. And I feel for Helen and Kev, you know, because it's like going through the same, you know, especially the whole story about the sex and gender and ideology and all that. It's just like, yeah, let's not go there. I need to try and stop the war, but that's up to them. Says Alistair Keir. Ukrainian are now able to mass produce their drones. This is why they're using them so much. One Angry Pagan says to me, we know that they bought quite a lot from the UK as well, and they're getting obviously supplies and that from other European countries as well. So I just, you know, once the movement stops from Russia, that's when you know the aid that the US had come through. Once we see it on the deep state map, the movement has stopped. That's when you know, like, it's coming in. It's finally taking effect. I'm a tool in the right hands, but I won't admit which. It's not a spanner though, says Genie Bottle. The beer was stronger than it looked. Mr. Spanner, if you don't mind. What are you guys doing with your spanners? You are all massive spanners, by the way, says Phil. Yeah, there's quite a few of them here, to be fair. Feck it, there's a link that takes control of my webcam and closes my bank card. I click it. What's the worst that could happen, says Phil. Yeah, what's the worst could happen? What's the worst could happen? I didn't do social media, so I can't join in on them. YouTube is my media fix without the Karen, says Mad Monk. That's fine. No worries, buddy. It's all right. I can understand people not wanting to go to other certain social medias, but you have to also remember a lot of people. I've had a lot of subscribers, and that come not just from the algorithm here on YouTube, but algorithm from Instagram and from TikTok, and obviously as it grows to Facebook as well. So there's people coming from different ones as well. Number 3 on my subscription list, says Stephen Banker. Oh, thank you, much appreciated. Through the 2 Davies, yeah, 2 Davies, solid stuff. It was good to see both of them on there yesterday, and I think they're both going to be on Monday at 4 p.m. As well, hopefully. So guys, just before I do the funny memes, I wanted to share this video. So some of you guys may have seen, I shared this on the community post today. And I'm not gonna. Well, I'll play because this is from Brian Tyler's Colin's video. So a fight doesn't actually erupt, but this just shows just how bad the Republican Party really are. And if you haven't seen this, you're in for a treat on this, guys. So just listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Just listen to the outrage. I mean, it's just, my God, good God. Should I? Maybe I should put the no cam on, actually. I'm just trying to think, what's the best angle? Give me a second, actually. I'm going to see if I can... Yeah, this one will work. Let me put this one. This is probably the best one. But anyway, I'm just going to play this, guys. And what I'll do is I'm going to skip Brian Tyler Cohen's piece, and then we'll listen to more of it. But yeah, here we go. Just listen. Would help if I actually unmuted it.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this special nighttime episode, we resume the Madcap comedy mystery series called Comer's High Crimes and Misadventures, the hilarious quest to impeach a president who has done nothing wrong, an avowedly low-budget but multi-million-dollar taxpayer-funded production which most Americans assumed had ended 2 months ago and had completely forgotten about. But tonight, with the cast and crew now fresh back from a surprise
You mean
trip
like
to
the
New York
January
City,
6th committee?
Stop it.
I'd like my time restored to me, Mr. Chairman.
Order, order. Chair recognizes ranking member.
Okay. Different congressional investigations and inquiries. And I know that pleases the gentlelady from Georgia because he issued.
I just want to hear Joe Biden. Why can't the American people hear him?
Order, Mr. Chairman. Get her under control.
President Trump issued an edict. No, I am glad. I am glad that the gentlelady from Georgia is learning something tonight. Okay.
I'd like to know if any of the Democrats on this committee are employing Judge Merchan's daughter.
What?
Please tell me what that has to do with Merrick Garland.
Is she a porn star?
Oh, Goldman. That's right. He's advising. Okay.
He's advising who? What? Do you know what we're here for? You know we're here about AG.
I don't think you know what you're here for.
Well, you the one talking about. I guess
I think your fake eyelashes are messing up.
No,
what you're
ain't
reading.
nothing.
Hold on.
Listen.
Order.
Mr. Chairman,
That's beneath
would
even
you
you,
please
Mr. Green. That's
regain
beneath
order
even
of your
you.
committee?
Order.
Please.
There's a point of order.
We have a point of order. Mr. Lynch, state your point.
I do have a point of order, and I would like to move to take down Ms. Green's words. That is absolutely unacceptable. How dare you attack the physical appearance of another person?
Are your
Move
feelings hurt?
her words down.
Aw.
Oh, girl, baby girl.
Oh, really?
Don't even play. with
Baby
me.
girl? I don't think
We are going to
so.
move, and we're going to take your words down.
I
Thank you very
second that motion.
So who will have to pay? Okay. All right. We're suspending. Okay. Ms. Green agrees to strike her words.
I believe she
Chair
should apologize.
recognizes
No,
Mr.
she
Perry.
should apologize.
Okay, hold on. Then after Mr. Perry's going to be recognized, then Ms. Green
I'm not
has 4 minutes and
apologizing.
21
Well,
seconds.
then
Okay,
you're
reserve
not
the right to
striking your
object.
words.
I am
Mr.
not
Perry.
apologizing.
Now let's go. Come on, guys.
Why don't you debate me?
Mr. Chairman, the
it's
minority.
pretty self-evident.
You're not.
Yeah, you're not.
out of order.
You don't have enough
You're out of order.
intelligence.
Chair recognizes Mr. Perry.
Okay, move to strike
I'd
the.
like to
I
strike
move to
those
strike the
words
lady's
as well.
I move to
I would
strike-
like
Move to
to
strike
strike
the lady's
as well.
words again.
That's 2 requests to strike. That's 2 requests to strike.
Oh, they cannot take the words.
There's another motion to strike her words again. Please
All right.
get
Okay.
your members under
Here's the
control.
correct priority. Ms. Green, do you agree to unanimous consent to strike your words?
I repeat again for the second time. Yes, I'll
All
strike
right.
my words,
That-
but I'm not
all right.
apologizing.
Without objection.
Not
Chair
apologizing.
Reserving the right
recognizes
to-
Ms. Green for 4 minutes and 21 seconds.
Mr. Chair, point of order.
Who's
It's me.
Ms. Crockett?
I'm just curious, just to better understand your ruling. If someone on this committee then starts talking about somebody's bleach blonde, bad built butch body, that would not be engaging in personalities, correct?
A what now?
Chairman, I make a motion to strike those words.
I don't think that's
Hold on.
part
I'm
of it.
trying to find clarification on what quality.
Chairman, motion to
I had
strike
no
those
idea
words.
what you just said.
We're not gonna do this. Look, you guys earlier literally just.
You just voted to do
Y'all did
it.
it first, so you don't want to talk about it.
Voted to do it.
Order.
I'm trying to get
Okay.
clarification.
Look at, calm down.
No, because this
I
is
would
what
like to
y'all
get
do.
through proceedings.
So I'm trying
Hey,
to
Ms.
get
Crockett,
clarification.
you're not
Y'all wanna
recognized.
play
Ms.
games.
I can't hear
Crockett.
you with your
And you
yelling.
don't want
Calm
me to
down.
Be,
Can
no,
you please calm
don't
down?
tell me to calm down.
Calm down.
Because y'all
Please
talk
calm
noise,
down.
and then you
You're
can't
out of
take
control.
Because if I
Look,
come,
Chairman,
if I
can
come
we
and
send
talk
outside to
shit
take a
about
break
her,
for 5
y'all
minutes?
gonna have a
Mr.
problem.
Chairman, Mr. Chairman.
All right, Chair.
I don't know why
Okay.
you're
Order.
Motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman. I think these 17-hour days might not work for us.
Something about working, huh?
Yeah, maybe showing up for a vote. Oh.
You have a lot to say, being that you're on retainer for the judge's daughter. Sorry, trust fund kid.
Mr. Chairman.
We should strike those words too.
I hope you brought your popcorn.
Mr. Chair,
Chairman.
we have to
Those
strike
after
those as
we
well.
strike the
Mr.
fact that they
Chairman.
called they were making comments about Marjorie's body. So we can do
Mr.
this all night
Chairman.
long, but I have a motion.
Mr. Chairman, this is out of
I'd like to
control.
get.
We should adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Okay, yes. Yes, what you just saw is an absolute cluster. This is just absolutely insane. It really, really is. I mean, like, this is what happens when you let the Republicans control things. And this all stems from, this stems from Trump. The attitude of Marjorie Taylor Greene stems from Trump. And then it allows the rest of them to be like that. That's where it all come from. And I also want to play, I'm going to play this up a bit in just a moment, but the chairman clearly had no control of the situation. Clearly, the Republicans are rattled by this, and this is just the language is just out of control, just absolutely out of control. And I don't blame the Dems for clapping back at Marjorie Taylor Greene when all she can do is just throw insults at this whole thing. It's just just absolutely crazy. But I wanted to play this little bit here just to kind of emphasize just how much this whole thing is a complete waste of time for them.
You think this is the final blow, right? And obviously the chairman of Judiciary is here too. We only have June, July, and September before the election. We're not here in August and October. So, I mean, I'm sure the American people are paying attention at 11:30 p.m. where you buried this hearing because it's so important. When are we going to do the impeachment of Joe Biden? When is that going to happen? Is it going to be June? Is it going to be July? Is it going to be September? Let's.
Oh yeah, you guys think the Biden peach has gone and gossiped. No, that's what this is all about. Yeah, and the thing is, they had to do this late at night because all the Republicans that are part of this committee, guess where they were? They were toot-horning Trump at his trial instead of actually doing this, because they obviously care very deeply about, trying to make Joe Biden obviously impeach, the president, because they tried to impeach Trump. So we're going to impeach Joe Biden. So that's why they're doing this late at night for the American people, whereas the Democrats could have started this anytime. But no, the Republicans, they still wanted to do this. So that's the situation, if you guys are just to put some context in.
Let's put it on the calendar. Let's just put it on the calendar. Pick a month. We're available. We were available at 11 a.m. You guys weren't. Just pick a month, right, so we can get it on the calendar and do the impeachment. So hold on. I'll give you choices. Ready? June. July. How about September? Okay. So we're never going to schedule this thing. It's never going to happen. He's sending out more subpoenas because he has no evidence. Okay. And yet here we go around and around and around. And so we get it. You'll raise money off of it. Congratulations to you.
They will never bring this impeachment up for an actual vote because this isn't about reality. It is about optics and a narrative and just vibes.
And he's absolutely right, Brian Tyler Cohen. That's what it is. I'm just going to play this last little bit here, guys, as well, from Miss Crockett.
A lot of people refer to the former president as president, but we have one president at a time, and that is Joe Biden. And seemingly, this type of attitude and position has come straight from the top. This idea of lacking all decorum, decency, has left the building when the stench of Donald Trump showed up.
100%.
And so we've seen constantly from him how he mocks people. We've seen in this committee how different members want to mock other members. And that's all this is about. But what is so frustrating to me and what should be frustrating to the American people, and the reason that really all y'all should lose y'all's jobs, but why we are going to take the majority is simple. Is because we showed up ready to work earlier today, like we always do. And now it is currently 10 p.m., and we are still here because we are committed to doing the right thing. And my question is really simple. It's a matter of, if this was such a big deal, if it was a matter of an emergency, if this was so important as it relates to whether or not the President of the United States has done something so wrong, then why is it that we couldn't have our hearing at 11 o'clock this morning instead of members being in a criminal courthouse with a twice impeached, over 88 count indicted sexual abuser, instead of being here to do the work of the American people if this was serious?
Y'all ain't gonna take her on. I ain't got nothing more to add to that. What that girl did just took him down. Yep, mic drop. Yeah, she mic drop. But I wanted to share that, guys. I really wanted to share that. I just thought that was just insane. Just absolutely insane. It just shows just how crazy things are. And really, I really hope that they blow this up and just show the American people, look how out of control the Republican Party are. Look how dangerous they are. You know, this is the last chance saloon for Trump. And if he goes down, the Republicans will, cross fingers, will change. They will change after this, and they will stop going down this ridiculous path. But we honestly don't know. But, yeah, just an absolute calamity. Did you enjoy that, Ollie? Ollie said he loved it. Ollie loved it. Ollie wants me to play it again. No, I'm not going to play it again. Ollie really wants me to play it again. I can't play it again, Ollie. I know you want me to. I know you want me to. Pingu thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, it was funny, but at the same time, like, it was just like, it should not have had to come that far, guys. It really should not have. But what I'll do is I'll put a link in the description of the video after the live stream. So if anyone wants to go back and watch the full thing with Brian Tyler Cohen's analysis and whatnot, you're more than welcome to. But I'll put a link for it in the description after this. But just before we guys wrap things up, before we guys head out, we got the memes. You didn't think I forgot the memes, did you? I've got 6 memes here for you guys. So you know, we got a bit more to do, guys. And a very interesting cat one to come in, actually, as well. So are you guys ready for the funny memes? No, of course you're not. Okay, here we go. When life gives you lemons, learn to make an Iron Man helmet for your cat. Trampoline for sale. It's only been used once. Gee, I wonder why it's only been used once. My cat is afraid of tangerines, so I created a force field to protect the Christmas tree. The perfect moment in the perfect place. You can see it, can't you? When your family borrows your car without asking, so you're no longer fast, but remain furious. And the last one. Have you seen this cat? He is a liar. Chaltu wanders the neighborhood telling his victims that he has not been fed. He has been fed, and he is on a diet. If you see this criminal, please do not feed him. He needs to lose 1.5 pounds by the summer. Larry, I'm looking at you in the chat. Oh, wait, he's not there. Is he not there? I'm looking at you, Sir Larry the cat. Do not feed him. I'm looking at all of you. Do not feed this cat. Do not feed the cat. He's a liar. He's not lost. He just wants your food. Very, very, very good one there. I have to say, it was a brilliant one. Brilliant, brilliant one, that last one. I really enjoyed that one. So, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Very mixed show. I'm just going to end the live YouTube poll. I almost forgot to end it. So thank you to everyone who's cast their votes on that. Does the European Union banning more Russian media help tackle misinformation? 62% of you said yes, 31% don't know, 6% said no, 16 people cast their votes. Thank you to everyone who's cast their votes on that. It is greatly appreciated. Big thank you to Alistair Keir, very generous today with 15 gifted memberships plus a £10 super chat. Very nice of you, my friend, and joining the Patreon. That's very, very kind of you today. I really appreciate your support. Very, very kind of you today, Alistair. I will see you later, and I'm sure I'll see some of you guys later on Max's live stream back at 8:30. I will be back on Monday with a live stream of the Snowflake's viewpoint. I will have content, plenty of content dropping over the weekend, the usual stuff as well for you guys. Another episode of Speaking My Mind and Good News Stories will be dropping over the weekend, so make sure you check them out. As the usual stuff, and once I say massive thank you to everyone for all your comments today. Greatly appreciated. If I haven't responded to all of yours, I do apologise, but I do try to read all of your comments whenever they come past, guys. So thank you very much for all of them. So yes, I will see you guys a bit later on Max's live stream, but if not, I will see you on Monday. But just before you go out, guys, just have one more thing to say to you. And what's that, Ollie? Yeah, I'm doing the outro. Oh my God, it's like these guys are just like jumping the gun. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share this across social media so others are notified of this video, and subscribe because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further and financially support me in the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p, or join me on Rumble, Patreon, or Facebook for exclusive content on those platforms. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.